purposes in which God has designed you. This man said 3 things from hell. One of the first things he said was, I am in torment. That's what countless people are saying in a real place called hell tonight, folks. They're saying, I am in torment. Because hell is a place of torment. You know, there are some terrifying places that even we as people put people. ADX, one of the worst prisons in the United States, known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies, is a terrifying place. Man's justice. That's a place where men are locked up 23 hours a day. The cell is as wide as the span of your hand stretched out. Light stays on 24 hours a day. You walk along the corridor of that jail that's out in Colorado. You can hear men screaming. You can hear men banging on the doors for hours. Men have cut their fingers. Men have ripped out their genitals. They've ripped out their eyes because of the justice of man. And the Bible says it is not a light thing to fall into the hands of a living God. Your knees would knock together, folks, if you were given 50 years in solitary. But the Bible says, don't just fear the one that will take the body, fear the one that will take the body and the soul. Hell is not just for a month. It's not just for a year. It's for eternity. It's a real place. This man says, I'm in torment. What was the second thing that he said? He asked for a drop of water. What was he asking for? He was asking for the good things of God. You see, whether you're a believer or not, you're a recipient of the good things of God. The Bible says all good things come from God. The fact that you woke up this morning, you could inhale, take a nice breath of air, you could eat a meal, you could look into your children's eyes, it's all of God. But there's coming a day when man will no longer be able to corrupt the good things of God. Because that's exactly what men are doing with the good things of God. The Bible says the heavens declare the glory of God. Everything that God has fashioned speaks of the glory of who He is. And we say it's a product of chance. The heavens declare it. Man won't. You know, the Bible asks the question, God's the potter, we're the clay. Does the clay tell the potter what to do? That's what many of you are doing tonight. You are the clay that God has fashioned. We're nothing but dust. And we're telling the potter what to do. There's coming a day when all the good things of God are going to be off limits. That's called hell. When man will no longer be able to corrupt the good things of God and do what he wants to do with them. What was the third thing that this man asked? The third thing that he said that cries out from hell? He wanted someone to go back and warn his brothers. Well, he recognizes it's an awful place. He recognizes he can no longer enjoy the good things of God. And so he says, the only hope I've got is to warn the others that I really care about that they won't come here. What was the answer? It's impossible. There's a chasm. There's no bridge. You know there's a bridge that God's provided for you right now in the land of the living? It's called the cross. God's Son laid down His body. It was broken. It was brutalized. All of our filth and our vileness was laid down on Him. It became the only bridge whereby tonight you can cross from your sinfulness to a holy God who's willing to accept you because of His offering. But he was told now it's impossible. There's no bridge. There's no crossing anymore. There's only a chasm. And God also, through Abraham, was making something very real to him as well, that you don't need faith in the afterlife, folks. You're not going to need faith when you stand before God at the day of judgment. You're not going to need faith in hell. You need faith now. The Bible says that God requires of us faith because he says without faith it's impossible to please God. So it's a very loving thing that we come down here and we warn you of hell, because there is no warning too strong. Hell is a horrible place. What's the good news? You're in the land of the living. You're in the land of decisions. There's a bridge. Jesus did not die as a political rebel. He died because we, as rebels against God, defied the wonderful design that God had for us to live a holy life and to live according to God's plan. It's like the film Terminator. You ever seen it? Man creates this super sophisticated computer, and what does it do? It rebels against its creator. That's what man has done. God has given us life, and he's given us breath, and he's given us all that he's given us, and man defies God and says it's going to be my way. But that body of Jesus Christ was laid down on that cross. And they reproached him and they spit upon him. And even in that hour, they said, why don't you save yourself? They said, you saved others. Yes, they acknowledged the truth. He saved others. What's up, man? The closest bank? Right behind you, man, but